We've said on a number of occasions, and we repeat again, we've listened and we are reading. Some, of course, are very humorous, but
Yes,
we appreciate the feedback by Kenyans, and to just give the confirmation that irrespective of whatever decisions will be made, the feedback has been critical, and we definitely change the landscape of how we engage in future.
All right, you're moving very fast, actually, Motoko, but let's just come from known to unknown, or rather unknown to what we have already seen. How does coming up with this kit go about? Do we have a design that is presented by Kenya with a Kenyan mind to Nike so that we can have maybe as a skeleton of what to expect from the Kenyan side, or how does it go about?
No, it does not start from Kenyan side to Nike. As you noticed, what Nike was unveiling was their worldwide brands of different nations. So they've developed. And just to explain, and for those who are familiar with how these things are done, is that normally it's a template across all the countries.
Okay.
And then that template is fitted across the different nations and their colors. This time around, Kenyan kit was not among the templates.
It was special.
It was special. It was different. And so, yes, the design comes from Nike because of their own arrangements. They have done that consistently since they went into partnership with the National Olympic Committee. If you look for the last several Olympics, every cycle, they unveil a new design for the kit. That's what happened this year.
What happens if, with this kind of uproar that we have gotten from the Kenyans themselves, do you feel maybe it's a time maybe we expound on the ideas and maybe bring in a local mindset before we send them to them, before we let them make the decision, perhaps?
I must say this scenario which came up last week has provided a lot of learnings. It has provided one critical learning is simply the presentation, and you'd appreciate that what came out in terms of to the public is just one item. We have about 8 items which we intended and still intend to unveil come April. So that's one item, but that one item has given us a lot of feedback to enable us to know how to engage as we move forward.
All right.
So that's one of the lessons. The second lesson is that going forward is that as much as we have no national kit to speak of, but we have appreciated that as Kenyans. There's
and even Nigerian, they were saying we need to borrow from.
Yes, I believe our colors are much better than the green and white for Nigeria. And in the past, we've had extremely good kit. And this one, the presentation, we could have done better, and we hope to do better when people see the full array of the items. Okay. But like I was saying, is that the lesson we are learning is that full engagement with the public is important, and also how we come to unveil most of the items, we need to inform them. In terms of the Kenyan input into it, that's certainly something for consideration. We are still growing, we are still developing, so more ideas are welcome on how we can do it better, because the idea is to get the Kenyan team in the best way possible.
Talk about the Kenyan team away from the kit, and we are looking forward to for the launch in April. But we already have 3 teams that have qualified for the Olympics, 3 sports teams that have qualified, and even the qualifiers are still ongoing. Yesterday, you did visit the boxing team in Nanyuki, and this has been something that the NOCK is trying to do, engage with the teams as much as they can do. In regards to preparations, where are we at in terms of the qualifyings and the teams that have already qualified?
I would say we are at 60% in terms of the preparations and qualification. We have had 3 team sports which have qualified, and that gives a lot of great color to the Team Kenya for 2020. Yesterday we went to visit the boxing team because they're preparing to go to Senegal next week. Our wish and expectation is that a number of them will be able to qualify. We've said on a number of occasions that our target is to get 100 athletes to be able to participate. Right now we have 80. We're just looking for 20 more. If boxing come with a number, and then the others who are in the martial arts and the individual sports, then we can be able to meet that number.
Wait, 100 of them. Yes. We still haven't seen the athletics one, the athletes, which will be a greater number, right?
Yes.
Do we still be restricted to 100, or are we going to see more?
When we say 100, we include in athletics. Okay. What is happening in athletics is that as of now, about 48
have already had qualified. Okay.
But as you all know, Kenya is a great sporting athletics country. So out of the very many who have qualified, we just need to enter a certain number in each category. And that's why in June 21st, we'll be having the athletics qualifying. That's where the final team of athletics will be selected. All
right. Let's briefly talk about doping. Just last week, but when the National Olympic Committee had the workshop in the country, the Cabinet Secretary did say, Amina Mohammed, that we are looking forward to see doping criminalized, because we have had a number of cases, not very many, but the few that have been mentioned have been really highlighted, and in return having a bad taste for Kenya. What is the stand for NOCK, and as we fight this doping menace?
Our stand is that we do not want any doping cases. We do not want any of our athletes to dope. We are saying that we are not stopping at the athlete level. We want the whole ecosystem investigated and found out who is it. Because if one athlete dopes, that one athlete operates within a system of structure. We want to be able to target that structure and bring it down. Okay. We believe for very many years, Kenyans have participated and done extremely well. We are not going to get that history messed up because of one or two people who, because of short-term goals, can be able to go dope and win. What we are also saying is that we want recovery of the assets, because I know certain people who have doped have gotten the comfort that despite being caught, they've already bought their properties, they already have their assets, so they say it doesn't matter what happens next. Now, if we can be able to attach those assets and recover them, just like every other corruption case, then people will be slow. But most importantly, we are telling Kenyans, you have done it in the past, you don't need to change anything, keep at it.
Keep at it. Now, I want you to talk about the marketing strategy for the 2020 Tokyo Games, because in previous years, it has been a link that we have missed. Yet, this is a team that everybody will want to see, every person will want to relate with, even in the Kenyan village in the Olympic camp. What's your strategy ahead of 2020?
First one was to bring some of the leading marketing practitioners in Kenya.
Which you did?
Which we did, and we brought them under one workshop so that with an expert from, supported by the International Olympic Committee, who came and took all the stakeholders through a 3-day workshop in terms of understanding what the Olympics stands for and what marketing avenues we can choose. 3 days after that, we brought a smaller team, which now was able to look critically at the Kenyan status as far as marketing is concerned, and they are already up and running. In the last 1 week, a lot of work has been done by that team. They've already started putting the proposals, they've started engaging the partners, because we want the best. We want people to take advantage of Team Kenya in a positive way where they feel they support it. We want to explain to people how the partnership works. We want to explain to people how they can be able to engage and be part of Team Kenya. We want to avoid the scenario in the past where people have waited until Team Kenya wins, and then they send congratulatory messages, then they put adverts in the newspapers. We are telling them, let's start now. Let's go through the preparation and the performance, and then when they win, as we expect them to do, then we can all celebrate.
All right, so we are talking about a way that we will let people know their Team Kenya, own Team Kenya, like they have already started owning. And above all, transparency with the Kenyans about Team Kenya.
That will be great. We are doing it, sometimes at a great risk, because when we have 10% of the information and we release, people make judgment of the 100%, but we know it's better when people have the information. So in terms of transparency, in terms of accountability, we've committed ourselves. We are strong believers of sports, and we are strong believers of the IOC system of values, which is friendship, excellence, and respect. We respect our partners, and we let them know what we want to do.
All right, Francis Mutuku is the Acting Secretary General of the National Olympic Committee. He can really market this team. If I gave him a whole afternoon, he will still have content to talk about it. And we really, really appreciate your presence in our sports show today. This is where we wrap up because I'm running out of time. Well, that was what we had on Sports Hub today. Tomorrow you'll have Karen Kibet. Oh, no. We will take a break tomorrow because we will be having a national event with, as we give our last respects to our fallen former president, Daniel Arap Moi. Have a good afternoon and thank you for watching.